Special Olympics is a nonprofit organization that provides us athletes not just locations for practices and competitions. They also provide us activities and opportunities for us to be role models and leaders for the next generation of athletes. Special Olympics Missouri takes it to the next level to make sure we have everything we need, sometimes want. Today we're learning the ins and outs of Special Olympics Missouri, not with a staff, volunteer, coach, or parent, but with an athlete. Her name is Anna McDaniel. So tell me what you do in Special Olympics.
I am a four-sport track athlete. I do track and field. I do bowling, volleyball, and swimming.
And which sport do you think is your best?
I like swimming a lot.
Swimming, yeah. That is like the second sport we've been involved together with. What all do you do in swimming?
I do the freestyle, 50 freestyle, the 4x100 medley relay. I do the 50 back and
the 50 meter.
50 meter back and breaststroke.
Nice. And I know you do a lot in track and field. What do you do in that?
I do the running long jump, the 100 dash, and the softball throw.
Is the softball throw hard to do?
A little bit. When you try to aim it.
Yeah. Gotta figure out like all the different angles and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And with bowling, like, what do you say is your best score?
My highest score right now is a 152.
And what do you like so much about volleyball?
This teamwork. We have to work on the team to get it over the net, and so it's pretty fun in all the drills.
Now, when you're competing or practicing, like, do you get like the same athletes on your team, or?
It's different every single year because we're always getting new athletes that come in.
Yeah.
For their like first time ever being in Special Olympics.
Yeah. And so, how long have you been in Special Olympics?
I started in 2003, so I was 13, and I started when I was in junior high school.
So 2003, that'd be 15 years now. Jeez. What are your hobbies?
I like to play with my nephews. I like to walk my dog and go to camp. Be on the computer. I'm planning on traveling this fall, and I'm traveling to Hawaii with my mom.
So you're a traveler. Where else have you traveled?
North Carolina, California, Florida, Texas, Ohio, Georgia, all over.
Yeah. So
Minnesota.
You haven't traveled outside of the country then yet?
I went to Mexico, like that little Mexico,
nice.
In 2013 when I was on the cruise.
Ooh, cruises are so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned your nephews. How many siblings do you have?
I am one of 6 kids, so there's 5 siblings and 3 nephews.
So 3 nephews, are they like with one of your siblings? Or
yes.
Is it, okay.
With Haley.
Yeah.
And her husband Matt.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so, do you ever get to see them often?
Yes. I lived in the same house that they do. So I'm like almost like a living nanny, so I babysit them a lot and can hang out with them.
Having those nephews, you're always getting to do all different kinds of activities.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite activity to do with them?
We like to go to the pool together, and then when we're downstairs, they came up with a game called the monster game, so I'm the monster and I'm trying to chase them around the basement, trying to get them to throw the monster game. So yeah. And they have a super lot of fun with that.
Yeah, I bet. With you two being in the same house, has things changed between you two? Have relationships like stronger than ever?
Has our relationship changed with you living here, Anna?
No.
No. Anna and I always shared a room growing up, and so we've always been very close, always together. We are one of 4 girls, and then we have 2 brothers as well, but with 4 girls right in a row, we've always been very close. And actually, I think that having Anna live with us has made us come even closer. I love that my sister's with me every day. I love that we get to be involved together and do things together as a family. I love that it keeps my parents close by because they come in and check on us. and I really love that my boys, I have 3 little boys, get to grow up with their aunt in the home and also just be exposed to an adult with disabilities and just kind of normal, like make that normal for them, and that doesn't have to be something that is unusual or scary, but that we can just like openly ask questions and learn that everyone just wants to be loved and is a person.
Would you say they've become more athletic with her being around?
Yes. Anna loves to take the boys, especially Grayson, out in the backyard and they'll play baseball, t-ball, it's a t-ball, or soccer. They kick around the ball a lot.
That's awesome. Like, what other activities do you do, like, outside of Special Olympics?
I work at Hy-Vee, and then I'm also a volunteer. I do like the multi-mile for Special Olympics whenever that happens.
You mentioned volunteer work. What are all the places that you volunteer?
The VA hospital, and I worked at Camp Barnabas, and then I also help out with Carnegie Hill.
Being an athlete for so many years, 15 to be exact, like, have you ever thought of like giving back to the Special Olympics Missouri community? What are your plans for that?
I'm planning this speak out. I'm going to try to get more athletes to be able to come and join that maybe have not heard of it.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people aren't on that maybe. Special Olympics.
Have you ever tried helping out in fundraisers?
Not a whole lot. We're willing to.
You know, being in Special Olympics so long, I imagine it's a little hard to make friends outside of it. So, I mean, even like whether before or after you joined Special Olympics, did you have friends outside of it?
Yes.
That's
I've had
awesome.
a few friends outside of it that have been with me through school and then with me outside of school.
I've been an athlete for Special Olympics Missouri for 11 years. I believe I've known Anna, I think, almost half as long, because she didn't join my specific sport, which is swimming, until 4 years ago, and I've known her longer than that. I think it was when I was doing bowling. I do believe that was like around 6-7 years ago. Because I know I stopped doing bowling after I was in a hit and run riding my bike.
So you mentioned you worked at Hy-Vee. What else do you do there?
I'm a demonstrator, so I hand out free examples to the customers to let them try the food before and see if they want to buy it. And we do that on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Awesome. Makes me want to go to Hy-Vee more.
There we can.
So how long have you worked at Hy-Vee?
I have been with Hy-Vee for 4 years.
4 years?
Actually.
So you've known Anna for a pretty long time then?
I have. I just moved to this store a couple of years ago, and I knew that she had been doing demos and helping out in produce a little bit every once in a while, and she loves doing demos, that's for sure.
Would you say she's improved since she's been on demo?
Definitely. I think one thing that the management team stresses on is like knowing what you're demoing, and so right at the beginning, I think that it's more so she just wanted to put out product and say, well, this is what we're serving. Don't know how much it is, but here it is. Eat it all.
Yeah.
And then I'd come by, of course, and eat some as well. But since then, I think that we asked the harder questions, like how much is this? What is the sale on this? Why are we doing a demo of that? Are people liking it? Are they actually buying it? All those things. And she's definitely improved a lot more. And so like we'll walk by and she'll say, it's 2 for $4 without us even asking what the price is. So she knows what she's doing for sure.
So with her being here, has, I guess, the store produce been bought more?
Oh yeah, I think that everything that she demos, along with all of our other demonstrators as well, I think that we're not only getting smarter with what we're choosing to demo, but with the people that we let demo as well.
Yeah.
They're just more customer-friendly people and people that I think are gonna go the extra mile and say, hey, well, you should buy this because I'm demoing it right now and it's on this sale. And they're just more talker people, and Anna's one of those people.
So, are you aware of Special Olympics?
A little bit, yes. I was involved with that, like student council wise, and that's the beneficiary that we did in high school. So that's cool with that.
Yeah. So, what do you know about Special Olympics?
I know about polar plunge and like we
Yeah.
raise money for Special Olympics, but that is like the extent of it.
Like, while she was in Special Olympics, did you learn more of what it was about, or did you already know everything about Special Olympics?
I've definitely learned more as I've gone on and on. I didn't know that you couldn't age out. I kind of figured while Anna was in school that it was something for kids in school, and then I didn't know that adults could be involved as well.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really cool that this is an opportunity and I can take with her through life, and we'll continue to adapt to her needs as she could use like age.
Yeah, it's fascinating because like I think I even know some athletes who are like well into their 50s or 60s. It's impressive.
It's really neat to go watch people compete. Like I think especially about the last event I went to was one of Anna's swimming, and there was a very elderly man there, and he was working towards the finish, and he did so well, and it was really fun, and everyone was cheering for him, and he medaled in his sport, and it was really encouraging. It was fun.
And while we're on that topic, like there's actually a part of Special Olympics where people who don't have disabilities are actually able to join as unified partners.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Do you think you'd be able to do that?
That would be really neat.
Yeah.
To be involved in that.
I'm surprised Anna didn't tell you.
Maybe you wanted your own thing. That is really cool. I didn't know that was an opportunity.
Yeah, because some of the athletes in our swim team actually has unified partners. So
cool. You may not want me for swimming.
Basically, a unified partner is just someone who plays the sport alongside the athlete, so they do essentially exactly what the athlete does. So in golf, for example, they'll play side by side and hit shot after shot, so they'll alternate back and forth, and it's really just kind of a way to combine the two together and kind of blur lines between people with and without disabilities.
Anna is actually in 4 sports, which is quite impressive for a lot of the athletes.
Yeah, I believe for her.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Most usually pick 1 or 2. And then there are athletes like Anna that like to do 4 or more sports.
Yeah, she's the right one for that too. I know she loves coming to work. I've never had a time when she hasn't showed up for work,
Right.
Unless she absolutely can't be here for something. So she's very dependable. So I can only expect that for outside of here too.
Yeah, but she's been on time for work.
Always.
Most of the time.
Always. Usually early too, and she'll stay after and do the cleaning and all that stuff for demo and all that too.
Yeah. And would you say she's an outgoing person?
Yes, definitely. I think that right at first it might take some time to like warm up to her, or her warming up to you too. But I think that she's great. That she loves to talk to everybody, and it just comes naturally to her, which is great.
And what was your first impression of her?
Very quiet. That's what I got right off the bat, and didn't want to be like outspoken. But I think that after she gets to know who you are, or sees like the friendly smile that's coming towards her other customer, I think that she like, hi. Yeah, and that's what she does. And so it's fun.
Yeah, that's a lot like how I am.
Yes, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, she was one of the first athletes that I ever worked with at Special Olympics, so I think I was probably more scared than anything. But she was really friendly and welcoming to me, so I really appreciate that.
I do believe you said you do volunteer work at both Camp Barnabas and the VA. What all do you do at Barnabas?
I've been a camper since 2001, so 18 years. And I also volunteer, so I help out with the campers and do like sometimes one-on-one, do the mail and stuff like that. And I also been on staff.
Yeah. And the VA, like, what do you do there?
There I escort patients around to the different parts of the hospital, and then I help with the information desk, giving out the information to where their appointments are. I file, and then I do different documents.
Yeah. And so with you volunteering at both Barnabas and
the VA. I imagine you've made a lot of friends there.
Yes.
Is there anyone that you specifically remember or that you want to talk about?
There's a lot of them. All the people that I met are just been really fun and really exciting. They're all young. The people at camp, they're all young, maybe college students, and then at the VA is this really well-deserved place to serve.
Yeah. Do you like ever bump into them like outside of the locations?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that actually has me curious, like, when people talk to you about Special Olympics, like, do you ever have to explain how Special Olympics works?
Not too terribly often, because a lot of people know what Special Olympics, and so we just tell them a little bit more. Because people at Camp Artemis, some of the athletes that are from Columbia, go to Camp Artemis. So
Yeah.
we get to see them a lot.
Yeah. It's just, I was wondering, because, like, there have been times where people have asked me about Special Olympics, and I think it only happens like once a year.
I don't get how they.
Yeah, I don't get how they think that. Probably because of the irregular Olympics. I don't know. But now that we're back on Special Olympics, like, I forgot to ask you, have you ever gone to Nationals or Worlds?
I've been to nationals in 2010 in Lincoln, Nebraska, in track and field.
And in track and field, like, what all did you do?
The 200-meter dash, the 4x100 relay, the running long jump, and the shot put.
Shot put. Do you remember what medals you got on that?
In shot put I got the gold, and then the other three I got 4.
Aw,
Yeah.
you did your best.
Then
So you said you had 5 siblings,
yes.
or 6?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're of 6, right?
Yeah.
So like, are you the youngest or
I'm in the middle.
you're the middle child?
I'm one of the middles.
So, not to create favoritism, but who do you like the best of your siblings?
I like them all.
You like them all? Yeah.
They're all equal.
Yeah, it's the same for me with my siblings. So, and how long have you known about Special Olympics?
I've known about Special Olympics since Anna got started, 2004 through 2003.
Yeah. And so, what was Anna like before she joined?
She's always worked really hard to be a part of groups. Anna is one of 6 kids, and so she grew up in a big family. So she was used to being a part of sport, a part of a team, and a part of things. And I think that when we learned about Special Olympics and Anna was able to join in, that really gave her the opportunity to be a part of a team. She watched the rest of her siblings go through Columbia Parks and Rec or other sports around Columbia, and Special Olympics gave Anna that opportunity.
Cool. And with you being like the older one of the older siblings, was it difficult to see her being treated? Was she treated differently while you were being raised, or?
No, Anna's always been just one of the siblings, one of the kids in our family. If we had an expectation, Anna had the same expectation. It may have been done a little differently, but Anna was always included in just one of the rest of us.
That's awesome. And so I take it like she's always improved since she's joined Special Olympics.
Yes, I think that being a part of a team and being physically active not only helps you physically, but also gives you mental clarity and lets her stay focused and gives her goals to reach and seasons to be a part of and things to get to do in her life. It's really neat. She's enjoyed each sport she's been a part of.
And so I forgot to ask Anna, and I know some athletes don't like to talk about it, but would you be willing to say what kind of disability you have?
I have muscular dystrophy and Barrett Alcohol syndrome effect.
For those who don't know what that is, could you explain that a little more?
Muscular dystrophy affects your muscle growth when you're younger, to where I had to do physical therapy for quite a few years. And so I did horseback riding, so my family always tried to get me to go jump on the trampoline, go straight and go run to help strengthen my muscles.
Like Special Olympics.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it all comes back together.
Yeah. These next few questions are going to be somewhat similar, but I would like to know what has Special Olympics done for you?
Special Ed Olympics, they gave me an opportunity to become an athlete and be involved in sports, which we didn't think would have happened when I was younger.
Yeah.
So it's been really a great opportunity. I love competing and making new friends.
So what does Special Olympics mean to you?
They mean the world to me in all different ways.
Yeah.
I definitely probably wouldn't be the same person without Special Olympics.
Oh yeah, same here. Same here. Special Olympics has changed both of us for the good.
Yes. I love when the next sport this comes.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever a sport is about to start, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna make more friends.
And there's always new people who are doing every year. So.
Oh yeah, new volunteers, new coaches,
Yeah.
and still have the same coaches from before. Because I believe, like you were saying earlier, the coaches we normally have for swimming, they've been with you since you started swimming,
Yes.
which was, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago?
At least 4 years now.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It is.
What does Special Olympics mean to you?
Special Olympics to me means inclusion, and I love that Anna has gotten to have that. I know that when she was younger, I'm sure it was harder for her to come and always be the sibling that was watching her other brothers and sisters play sports, and her not having that to be a part of. And so Special Olympics allowed her to be included and help her be successful in what she's been able to do and be a part of. I love being able to go watch her now, and I get to be the sibling on the sidelines while Anna succeeds at sports and really enjoys herself.
And so does she join you and your siblings now when you guys play sports?
Oh yeah, we're very competitive, aren't we?
Even just coming to playing card games, we're competitive, not even playing cards.
There's always a winner.
Yeah.
She's worked on flip turns this year and some specifics with her diving technique that have helped her a lot, I think. I mean, she's always been very welcoming and friendly, but maybe more comfortable. She and I are kind of more friends, I would say, now than we used to be, so we can have a good conversation. I think that she is hands down one of the most helpful and kind and selfless people, I think, that works in our program. And I think people probably don't commend her on that enough, but she has a good combination of physical talent, natural athleticism, and a good mental approach to every sport that she does with us. So I can't pick on any one thing that in particular. She's pretty well-rounded as an athlete. Physical fitness, that aspect of it, in the sense that swimming is one of the best cardiovascular exercises you can do to stay in shape. But other than that, that's probably just about it.
We're actually really good friends, and she is super friendly. She's open just about anything, and she loves to do sports. I mean, I know she's really active in Special Olympics Missouri. Anna has a way of just making you feel comfortable with who you are and what's going on, no matter what situation you guys are in. She has a way of letting you know that what's happening, it's all right, or it's not all right. It depends on what situation you're in, really. I mean, no person is perfect. No one. But because I have problems with my memory currently, I can't think of any when it comes to Anna McDaniel. Everyone has flaws, like I keep saying, but I can't see any in Anna right now because she's such a great friend. She's there to support you. She's there to help you out in any way. And she loves to talk almost as much as I do. I always, when it comes to remembering people's jobs, I always have a hard time with that. I knew Anna had a job. I know Anna has a job, but I always forget where it is. But to learn that she works at Hy-Vee is actually pretty cool because I think when my sisters worked at Hy-Vee too, I always thought that athletes in Special Olympics Missouri, I always thought that they would want to talk about their disability. And this year I learned that not all of them want to, or they aren't comfortable to do that. Having this documentary focus on an athlete, it made me realize, she might not want to talk about her disability. Fortunately, while I interviewed her, she actually, I did ask politely about it, and she opened up about what it is, and I actually asked her to explain it. It's actually really comforting to know that she was willing to talk about it. Whereas me, I embrace everything about myself. I want the world to know everything about me. And if I want them to know everything about me, then I need to embrace who I am, what I am, and know how to explain it all in detail. You should always feel comfortable to talk to someone with a disability. You don't always have to say, hey, what is your disability? Not a lot of people like to talk about that. But at least now you can feel more comfortable saying, hey, I noticed you're having difficulty doing this. Would you like some help? And if not, just let them be. I mean, in all honesty, people with disabilities, they're not all comfortable with accepting help. They're not all comfortable with talking to people. They're not all comfortable with a lot of things. Taking the initiative to at least get to know them, or at least help them out if it looks like they're struggling, it's a step forward to becoming a better world. Of Special Olympics being more than just a competition organization, but as a family. And that's how I perceive Special Olympics Missouri as. That it's my family as well. From watching Anna through this documentary and filming her and all that stuff, I believe Special Olympics Missouri has become her family as well. I hope that Special Olympics will someday be your family too. The reason I chose Anna McDaniel as the star of this documentary is because she is actually someone I know in Special Olympics Missouri, who actually lives in my hometown. I personally wanted the athlete be in my hometown, but I didn't expect it to be someone that I was familiar with. I actually kind of wanted it to be someone I didn't know. That way I'd be more curious of wanting to know about them, and this is kind of how I got more interested in making a documentary instead of making an actual film or something like that. I actually wasn't expecting Anna McDaniel to accept being the star of this particular documentary, but for it to be someone I know and actually lives in my hometown, it just made things a whole lot easier. No offense, because I know making a documentary is difficult. But that's kind of where things started off.